content come to northern Nigeria. Northern region of the country called Nigeria is occupied mostly by brainwashed Fulani pigs. They are a particular people that only knows mosque, Quran, Muhammad, mosque, Quran, Muhammad, mosque, Quran, Muhammad. They don't know any other thing again. They believe that these three finish. Do you see A, B, C, D? They don't know. Do you see Western civilization as in hip-hop, lyrics, praises and worship in English, rhythm? They don't know. They don't know. A Fulani man cannot just stand up now and sing for you lyrics. No. No, there's no unless, there's no bottle. Because when you talk about good lyrics that can calm down your heart, it is when you are singing praises to God or worship. Fulani man cannot do it. A Fulani man cannot just come out now and say, I'm from a Fulani extraction. Oh, my girl, my daughter has written her jam 400 or 380. Na lie. They turn their back on schooling, education. They turn their back on Western civilization. They turn their back on what is trending all around the world. What Fulani man knows is Sheikh, Musa, Shehu, Emir, Alpha, Imam, Quran, mosque. That thing they have on their hand, that's a bead they use for prayer. Biafran nation has actually organized itself well all around in and out of United States of America, at least buying or building many establishments like, you know, offshore office. Then you have embassy or high commissions. These are mechanisms that are down already to help Biafra when the actually emancipation or referendum comes or is conducted. So which is why we have many outlets now as embassy in New York, in Washington, in California, and so on and so forth. In other states of the United States of America, Biafrans, they are there doing their best to make sure that we put offices down in those states. So, but the Fulani man, his knowledge is limited to rearing cattle, rigging election, slewing and buying, killing, unaliving Hausa farmers, Igbo farmers, Yoruba farmers, Benue Lantak farmers, farmers in southern Kaduna, everywhere in Taraba. They don't have what it takes to educate or give you information. The information is limited to Quran, Allah and Muhammad. That's why when they ask such question, I was like myself, what does these people mean? Does it mean that someone will not fight for his own freedom? Does it mean as I'm a Christian, I won't just distance myself from Islamic community, Muslim communities? I have nothing in common with them. We don't share the same God's idea, divine idea. My own idea is Abrahamic, and Christianity is my own. You say what?
It's not a country. Biafra is not a country.
Biafra is a country on its own. See, they said, listen, Chunuwachebe or Cyprian Ekwense or Wole Soyinka wrote there was a country. There was a country that existed. It's a book. And I will not be that foolish enough not to recognize or read that book. From 1967, 30th May, 1967 to 1970, there was a country. I will be the last person not to know actually that there was a country. Come what may. There was a country. Why must you be telling me say Biafra is not yet a country? When actually I know that Biafra existed as a country. Don't you know that Biafra had their international airport at Tuli? Biafra had their central bank, Unoli. Biafra has everything in Enugu before Enugu fall in falling of Enugu in 1967. Biafra has everything, don't you know? Department of Logistics, Sinu Achebe was the head. The science and technology where we manufacture our weapon. Many of them in Igbo land. We are the technocrats. used to manufacture all this Obunigbe, that big Ojuku pot bomb. There was a country. We had our currency, better, neat, and stronger than British pounds. What are you telling me? There was a complete country in the past. From 1967 to 1970, a country called Biafra actually existed. And we did well. Nigeria wouldn't have conquered Biafra. No conqueror. Nobody was a victim. I don't know what I understand. And it's because we actually proved that we are more than Nigeria. Nigeria was assisted by Egypt. Nigeria was assisted by Cameroon, Chad. Nigeria was assisted by Britain and Russia. Do your own feasibility study well and find out that actually, even not that Britain sponsored the military clique led by Colonel Gowan. Biafra, we are flying. We are flying, excelling, man, in victory. I'm telling you, we were excelling. Nigeria wasn't better than us. We did well. Many Igbos enjoyed Biafra regime. Interview them, they will tell you. Biafra was better. Though you have many enmities and adversities, even Awolowo contributed to the woes, the agony of the Biafran people. When he actually suggested food blockade at the axis of Cameroon, Bight of Guinea. Now see shelf, international water from where food is coming in. Awolowo said block it, so that hunger will kill them. And where is Awolowo today? Very wicked man. Listen and listen good. Biafra is still alive, living. Awolowo is dead. That is life for you.
Okay, so you feel that the US government should not, mind what these Fulani are trying to propose as regards, wanting to, cut short the Biafra embassy.
America project. Will never listen to Arabic ideology. America is the last country that will do stupid thing. Donald Trump, originally is a white Jew from Germany. I don't see Donald Trump as a foolish man or nobody, no. Donald Trump is an intellectual giant. Listen and listen good. Join the whole Fulani race together. Donald Trump is an intellect more than them. Join the whole money they made, their experience in politics, everything. Donald Trump has upper hand over all of them. Donald Trump will be the last person today that will listen to what the Fulanis are saying. Actually, the Fulanis are so barbaric, cruel, wicked, that they could not even help themselves. They are helpless people. The whole money they are stealing from Nigerian public scoffer. The Fulanis could not erect even a single institution in the north to educate their youth. These are people that are bent on building mosques all over northern Nigeria, confusing people that Islam is the best religion. That's all. Whether you don't produce food, whether you don't have production company, you don't go to farm, worship and sleep in the mosque. Final. What an ideology that is meant for the people of the dark ages, the medieval ages of Europe, when there was no light. Archaic people. The Fulanis are archaic people with archaic ideology. Archaism is the problem that Gumi, El-Rufai, and the rest of them in the north are having today. That actually made them to abandon the light and face the darkness. Nigeria is drifting backward, going down to the abyss. These archaic crops of people in the north, they don't want to know. The children of the low, the less privileged, are dying, suffering, while their children are all dying and, schooling in various countries of Europe. What a bloody race or tribe the Fulanis are. They have actually deviated from light. They don't want the light. All they suggest in their life to profile solution, they will contact the powers of darkness. I don't want to know what anybody thinks. Quran can never establish industrialization for you. You are God that you are slaying, killing people, slitting people's throats for your God. If actually he will do you favor, he would have come and told you since. He would have told you since that this thing you are doing is not good. My God, if I'm doing wrong thing, I know he will administer to me. There are many ways he's going to do that to stop doing the wrong thing. But you dying, praying 260,000 times every day, could not have the heart of humanity. Or that the Fulanis are out of faith. The Islam introduced into the world by the Arab. The Arabians, they are following the Islam with harmony and serenity. But today you see Fulani, they turn Islam into paganism. The Fulani man should be checked right now. Their excesses, they should put them on hold. Because when it escalates into absolute psychophancy, many African nations are going to at least be hurt. Even Europe is not left out. Because when it happens in Africa, you will see the whole refugee exuding into European countries. But Europe, due to too much chop, Europe could not do anything now until these pigs conquer the whole Africa. And Africa will be exuding into Europe. And tell me how the economy of that region will sustain Africans. Fulani man is a bloody man. They should be checked and examined now until it is too late.
Okay. What do you think that the Nigerian government, do you think there will be panic as regards the opening of this embassy in the US? Do you think that there will be panic?
Why shouldn't they panic? A country that is yet to be is doing well, better than Nigeria. By the way, is Nigeria a country? Who and who united? We are not united in Nigeria now. Nigerian country are talking about some persons use sword and gun, seize Nigeria. They seize power. How many years ago? Yoruba will be president, Fulani will be president, Yoruba will be president, Fulani will be president. Who and who are united? We are not united now. What are you telling me? And why shouldn't they panic? They are not panicking because because Biafra has actually gotten their own foothold in America. And you should know that number one country in the world is America. And when you talk about the Jews, the state of Israel, you are talking about the tribe of Manasseh. The tribe of Manasseh is in control of America. So the country that is number one in the world is America, and we are having our embassies there. And there's nothing the Fulani Janjaweeds could do about it. It is too late. Fulani has actually succeeded on destabilizing Nigeria. And I'm telling you that we are not one here. Igbo man could no longer endure it. What has been going on and on for almost 58 years now. We are not part of Nigeria. I rest my case. Successfully aligning or becoming allies, the greatest allies of Biafra. Secondly, Israel. Israel is coming to come out because they are having pogrom, conflict. Gaza conflict is what is delaying Israel from coming in fully. See, mention of the Zion, state of Israel, is the greatest fear of Nigeria. Because the Janjaweeds are the Arab migrants. The Janjaweeds are people that migrated from Yemen. Yes, Iran. And Middle East, the Arab world. The Fulani Janjaweeds are the blacks chased away by the white Arab, their white Arab counterparts. Because the blacks, Muslims in the Arab world are slaves and they are barbarians. They are wicked because they lack Western education. They are illiterate and they are archaic in all their doings. That's why the white-skinned Arab chase them away. They are in Sudan. They are in Nigeria mostly, in Niger, in Mali, all over Sahel countries of West Africa. They were chased away by their white Arab counterpart because all they know is, religious atheism. They can never actually, practice Islam the right way the white-skinned Arab are practicing it. That was the reason why they were all, banished from Arab world, and they migrated into where? Western Africa. The whole Sahel countries in West Africa are the Fulanis. They have Fulani militias as terrorists. They align with ISWAP, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, annihilating the Christians all over Western Africa. That is the latest fight and conflict that is going to ensue in Sahel, West Africa. They are fighting themselves, trying everything possible to stop Ibrahim Traore. That's why they are spreading their tentacles, coming down to southern Nigeria. But we are going to rebuff them, rebound them, resist them. They are going to lose woefully. Fulani Janjaweeds, they are the enemies of Nigerian ethnicities now. But due to the money, the gains, the selfish political interest, the black politicians in the south are receiving from the Fulani Janjaweeds. They are not taking the war escalation by the Fulani Janjaweeds so serious because of political interest gains. I think by the time Fulani starts, incursion in the township across Nigeria, cities, commercial cities across Nigeria, the whole politicians in Nigeria will still remain asleep. They are sleeping now as I'm talking to you. It is going to catch up with them. Fulani incursion in Nigeria is going to catch up with both politicians, both southern elites, both southern stakeholders in the south. That is when they will actually know that Fulani has declared war against Nigeria.
We don't know, like I always said, that as the world leader, President Trump has the executive order to decolonize any country, any region. You feel that he can decolonize. He has that power. So if he's decolonizing Nigeria and granting structures for takeoff of a state, a nation, it is in good order. And this is what we need for a high level of diplomatic advancement. We need an embassy, where anybody that is coming to America can easily have access to Biafran embassy. So, but you see what the enemies are trying to do, whether there was a suspicious launch attack, using any kind of weapon to make sure that people are being scared away from carrying out, advanced diplomatic meeting to see how to regenerate, and reactivate and be able to bring sovereignty of Biafra to the international diplomatic channels and level. So that is what is remaining, and that is the essence of having an embassy there. But the attack we are seeing so far, I think from the truth is that Donald Trump has already taken note of that, and of course the Igbo structure there within the American security has already deployed surveillance, within that space, and make sure that everything is being put in a proper perspective. And there's no cause for alarm. Dr. Ngozi Rabezi has been battling and working up and down to make sure that it gets the full attention of what is required to keep that embassy secured. And we are also hearing that a lot of our experts, security expert company, who are into surveillance, has already volunteered to make sure that the Biafran embassy there is properly secured from Arab attack, from enemy attack. Whether it is coming from Nigeria, whether it's coming from anywhere, they don't want to know. But I can tell you that the Biafran embassy in Washington has come to stay. And before it was, allowed within that space. I remember that the Speaker of the U.S. government, Mike Johnson, also, made a reference to that after signing a Biafran charter. A lot of things are going on there, and the congressmen, the U.S. congressmen, are already aware of such things. And these are the things that we needed. These are the structures we needed to continue to build our advanced diplomatic engagement with the international community over how to restore and proper taking off or kick off of Biafra as a sovereign nation. So whatever that is coming there, I can tell you within that space, the security has already been beefed up, and I can tell you Biafra embassy is safe. And I want to use this opportunity to celebrate the PM, the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, for that voice of note, that voice of support. I want to also celebrate Naftali, for a massive support for Namdi Kanu's release. These are Jews, these are Israelis, who are watching the development happening in Nigeria, concerning the Biafra, and globally concerning Biafra. And from what we are hearing, there's a reported threat, to remove, Israeli embassy from where it is now and make sure it is permanently located somewhere in Biafra land, because they saw us as their own brothers. These are some of the things that are already ongoing, beyond the scene. And the celebration, massive celebration in Israel, in Jerusalem, when the May 30th Biafra Day was celebrated globally. It was also celebrated in Israel, and I want to celebrate Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister, the able Prime Minister of Israel. Israel is lucky to have that great guy, as their Prime Minister this time around.
But with this launching of the Biafra embassy, do you not think that the world leading countries will fully now recognize that Biafra now is finally restored?
If he can allow that kind of space within the world superpowers, the American government to acknowledge right there in the capital, it sent a lot of signal that it is more than we can see. There's more to it. So it gives you an impression, of what is going to come in future, and the pattern of our treaty and our alliance. You understand? It's because any bilateral Biafrans are going to go into, we are going to see a U.S. government play a prominent role. We are going to see the Jewish state of Israel, play a significant role. These are the allies we are looking at, and we continue to build our structure within that sector, and that's why you see that the Biafran embassy is always being threatened, and the Fulanis are angry with Donald Trump. Why would you allow such an acknowledgement, a big nod for Biafra sovereignty to take place in the United States of America? Is Biafra now a sovereign nation? For what they don't know now, that the structure of creating a nation is by creating a parallel government. But these are the things I shouldn't be talking about here, but that's the real thing, and we have to keep it going. And remember, it is not only Washington own is significant. We have another one in Baltimore, in the United States of America. We have several countries of the world, where we are getting our high commissions, registered among international community and community of nations. But we must give it to Ngozi Orebeze, for that extreme commitment to get the world understand the plight and why we should have Biafra as a sovereign nation.
Okay, another thing you should look at is that we've seen Donald Trump recently appoint Mercy McCarthy, who promises to be a childhood friend of Ngozi Orebeze, as the head of cybersecurity there in the US. And we also know that his chief of staff is Susie Willie, who was once Namdi Kanu lobbyist. With this now, do you not think these people will alongside work with Ngozi Orebeze secretly, and at the same time do you think they're working together secretly, and at the same time do you not think that the Nigerian government will panic as regards the launching of this embassy?
Of course, they should panic already. There's panic because it become unstoppable. And they thought that holding ceremony is another factor. Holding Namdi Kanu, the structure is there. Namdi Kanu said it clearly. Now it will take Nigerian, not Nigeria alone, 250 years to break the security of IPOB. They cannot be able to do that, So, and the more they are trying, the more they are getting to the next level, So, Suze Willis and Mercy McCarthy are already a prominent IPOB lobbyists within the Trump government, But I can tell you to an extent, there's a reason why they are there. There's a reason why they brought them there, and there's a reason why they were recommended as IPOB lobbyists under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Then these are structures Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has put in place, before the battle, with Nigeria started. So those structures, legacies, are still being exploited by the Biafran government in exile, and we are seeing how far they can go. It's a welcome development. It's called for celebration, and there's no how anybody going to bring the Biafran embassy down. It has come today, and the U.S. government has endorsed it.